Hello and welcome to Idea TV News at 9. I am Chidera Okere. We'll begin with the headlines. Nigeria has fewer than 10 million active taxpayers, says OYEDELE. SANWO-OLU says tax reforms will protect small businesses. FRSC deploys 783 personnel in AKWA IBOM. New APPO leadership exposes limits of Africa's energy coordination. Away from Africa, global crypto thefts surged to $3.4 billion in 2025. In business, EFCC lines up bank, BDC witnesses against former Attorney General ABUBAKAR MALAMI. And in health, Nigerian Navy builds boreholes and hospital centers in PLATEAU community. In sports, AJAYI shines as Super Eagles win AFCON opener. Now the news in full. Nigeria has fewer than 10 million active individual taxpayers nationwide, according to the chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Taiwo Oyedele. He made this known yesterday, Tuesday, in Lagos, highlighting the country's narrow tax base and the need for urgent reforms. Speaking at the Tax Reform Summit 2026, Oyedele said Lagos State alone should be able to match that number if proper data systems are in place. He stressed that reliable record of individuals' property and fiscal activities are essential for effective revenue mobilization and sustainable economic planning. Oyedele also said Lagos could generate up to 1 trillion naira annually from property taxation of if the sector is properly structured, valued, and enforced. He called on the state to strengthen its tax laws, improve collaboration among revenue agencies, and led by example in driving data-driven tax reform that works for all. Moving on, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has assured Nigerians that the new federal tax reforms will not burden the poor, but will protect small businesses and ensure fairness. Speaking yesterday at the Lagos Tax Reform Summit in Ikeja, the governor said the reforms are designed to close revenue leakages, simplify taxation, and ensure that wealthy individuals meet their tax obligations. Governor Sanwo-Olu acknowledged public concerns ahead of the Nigerian Tax Act taking effect on Thursday, January 1st, 2026. He praised President Bola Tinubu for championing the reforms, describing them as bold but necessary steps to fix long-standing inefficiencies in the tax system. He added that Lagos State is fully aligned with the federal government tax agenda and will work closely with the national authorities to implement a harmonized, transparent, and predictable tax system that supports growth, protects small businesses, and improves service delivery for citizens. Moving forward, the Federal Road Safety Corps has deployed 783 personnel across AKWA IBOM State to ensure safer road during the Yuletide season. The deployment covers major highways and critical traffic corridors as movement increases for the festive celebrations. The sector commander, Francis Ajata, said yesterday in Uyo that the operation involves regular officers and special marshals supported by patrol vehicles, ambulances, and a tow truck. He explained that mobile courts have also been activated to prosecute traffic offenders and discourage dangerous driving. The FRSC says the exercise aims to reduce road crashes caused by speeding, reckless overtaking, and disregard for traffic rules. Motorists are advised to obey traffic regulations, collect unclaimed driver's license, and report emergencies through the toll-free line as the command works to ensure a safe and hinge-free celebration across the state. In another news, the African Petroleum Producer Organization has a new Secretary General, but his appointment is again raising questions about how much influence the body really has over Africa's oil and gas policies. Farid Ghazali, elected last month during APPO's Ministerial Council meeting, formally took office last Wednesday at a handover ceremony in Brazzaville. APPO brings together African oil-producing countries, but it has no binding power over national energy decisions. All ministers agree on board position. Individual country continue to act independently. Nigeria has pushed ahead with new oil reforms and licensing rounds. Angola manages production strictly at national level, and Senegal has begun offshore production on its own timetable. This matters because African producers are facing financing pressure, production sustainability concerns, and a gradual energy transition. With new initiatives like the African Energy Bank now merging, Ghazali's challenge will be defining APPO's relevance as a platform for coordination rather than control in a continent where energy policy remains firmly national. We'll now go on a quick break. The news continues when we return.
Number 14, transparent displays in holographic interfaces. Imagine a car windshield that doubles as your navigation screen, or a shop window that projects holographic ads you can interact with. That's where transparent and holographic displays are heading. LG has already demonstrated 77-inch transparent OLED panels, and Panasonic tested transparent display tech in retail environments in Japan. At CES 2024, Samsung unveiled a transparent micro LED prototype that stole headlines. These displays don't just look futuristic, they offer practical benefits, like heads-up navigation for drivers and interactive medical imaging for hospitals. By 2026, we'll likely see the first wave of real-world deployments.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is Idea TV News at 9. Now the rest of the news. Away from Africa, the global cryptocurrency industry suffered major losses in 2025, with stolen digital assets rising to over $3.4 billion. This is according to a new report released today by blockchain analyst Fame Chain Analysis, marking a sharp increase from the $2.2 billion recorded in 2024. The report says the surge was driven by a few highly deductive attacks led by the February branch of crypto exchange Bybit, where hackers stole about $1.5 billion worth of Ethereum. That single incident is now the largest crypto theft ever recorded and accounts for a significant share of this year's losses. Chain analysis also says North Korea dominated crypto attacks in 2025, with hackers linked to the country stealing and at least $2.02 billion, mainly by targeting large exchanges using sophisticated social engineering method. The findings raise fresh concerns about growing systemic risk. An individual crypto attack become fewer but far more costly. In health now, the Nigerian Navy has constructed 9 boreholes and a healthcare center in Fongzai Community, Bell District, Mangu Local Government Area, Plateau State. The projects were inaugurated yesterday by the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, represented by the Chief of Naval Engineering, Rear Admiral Nan Manley Damtong. The facilities were delivered under the Navy's Quick Impact Project initiative introduced in 2024 to strengthen civil-military cooperation and support peace efforts in Plateau State. The intervention was carried out in honor of the Rear Admiral Habiba Zakaria, an indigene of the community, and aligns with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda on grassroots development. Naval authorities says the projects are designed to provide clean water, basic health care, and improve standard living, while fostering trust between security forces and local residents. Community leaders have welcomed the initiative and pledged to ensure facilities are properly maintained and responsibly used. In business news, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has lined up bank officials and Bureau de Change operators as witnesses in alleged money laundering charges against former Attorney General of the Federation, ABUBAKAR Malami. Court documents filed today show that the anti-graft agency plans to rely on testimony from representatives of major banks and foreign exchange operators. Malami, alongside 2 other defendants, is facing a 16-charge a 15-count charge involving alleged laundering of over 1 billion naira and the acquisition of properties said to be proceeds of unlawful activity. The charges relate to transactions allegedly carried out through bank accounts and companies with properties spread across Abuja, Kano, and Kebbi states. The EFCC says its witnesses, including investigators, will explain how the funds were traced and linked to the alleged offences. Malami has previously denied wrongdoing, accusing the commission of intimidation, while the EFCC insists the case is strictly based on evidence. The allegation remains before the courts, with no verdict yet delivered. And finally, in sports, Nigeria began their 2025 Africa Cup of Nations campaign with 2-1 victory over Tanzania yesterday in Fez, Morocco, with defender Semi Ajayi named man of the match after a commanding all-round display. Ajayi opened the scoring in the 36 minutes, heading home from a corner before Tanzania briefly drew level early in the second half. Nigeria quickly restored their lead through Ademola Lookman, after which Ajayi anchored the defense, winning his duels and helping the Super Eagles see out the game. Speaking after the match, the 31-year-old said the award reflected teamwork, adding that the squad is already focused on improving ahead of the next Group C fixture against Tunisia on Saturday as Nigeria continue their quest for fourth continental title. And that is all we have for you today on Idea TV News at 9. But before we go, here is the recap of the headlines. Nigeria has fewer than 10 million active taxpayers, says OYEDELE. SANWO-OLU says tax reforms will protect small business owners. FRSC deploys 783 personnel in AKWA IBOM. New APPO leadership exposes limits of Africa's energy coordination. Away from Africa, global crypto thefts surged to $3.4 billion in 2025. And in business, EFCC lines up bank, BDC witnesses against former Attorney General ABUBAKAR MALAMI. In health, Nigerian Navy builds boreholes and health center in PLATEAU community. And finally in sports, AJAYI shines as Super Eagles win AFCON opener. Do not forget to follow us across all social media platforms at Idea TV. I am Chidera Okere. Thank you for watching.